Hey guys, Evans was Ed111 here today, and this episode of this EVlog I'm going to be talking about TV series, because I've talked about film, I've talked about books, but TV series is the kind of thing that sits in between, because TV series take a lot of commitment. Usually it's season after season, series after series of various different things, and if you want to invest in the characters or the stories, then you need to invest a lot of time. With a film, it's just an hour and a half. With a TV series, let's say each episode is 45 minutes long, and then there's a series of 10, and there's like 6 series of those 10 episodes, and that time really adds up. And TV series, as a result, I didn't heavily invest into them too much in the past. With my family, I think I watched, there was Life on Mars, which was this BBC crime drama, which was fantastic, about a cop who went back in time to the 1970s. And that was really, really good. I loved it. I thought the stories were great. I developed a love for crime drama. Then they released a sequel called Ashes to Ashes, which was a new protagonist. It concluded the story and gave the answers, but the answers sucked. And that's that's the foundation for my views on TV series. I invest in it. I think this is fantastic. Then it gets to the end, and it feels like a lot of the time they don't actually have answers, but they may try and give you answers, and the answers usually don't add up as a result, and it's just unsatisfying. But to name other things, following the crime drama phase I guess I had, I watched Luther, which was fantastic. I still love Luther because it's ongoing. I think it's great because of the depiction of the characters. I feel as though they're much more realistic and less cliche than other crime dramas, and the psychological element I think is really, really good. So Luther's great. I watched The Shadow Line, another BBC short crime drama, which had a fantastic ending, but the build-up, it was a slow burner, I reckon. And also, to conclude the crime drama stuff, I did watch The Wire. I was watching that with my dad, and we got through about 2 or 3 seasons, and we watched it every time he came up, but that's another one you have to really heavily invest in, and it is another slow burner, so unfortunately I never finished that. It was good when I did watch it, though. It was really gritty and dark, which was nice. But talking into modern TV series now I've had more chances to watch TV series. I finally watched those TV series everyone goes on about. I finally watched Breaking Bad, and I actually, it was hyped up so much, and I thought, I'm going to be disappointed, I'm going to hate it. But I watched it, I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good story. You can never, it's hard to sell Breaking Bad to someone, because it's one of those things you kind of need to experience it for yourself before you can understand why people like it. But I did enjoy that, and it's one of those long-running ones I reference, and with long episodes too. But I think it was worth the time. But other than that, I never really watched TV series. That's one of the only ones I did manage to invest time into. But now I've been watching a lot of TV series with Molly, because it turns it from a hobby into a social activity, because then you get to talk about it and you get to reflect views and analyse it as well as a film student. So I've watched a lot of TV series recently. The first one we did get into is The Vampire Diaries, which initially is one of those things I thought, I thought it was just going to be cringy vampire love triangle cliches and shit. It was good. I say it was good. I'm still in the process of watching it. I'm not up to date, and it is still airing. There are still episodes coming out, but I think they do a good job at keeping it interesting and posing mysteries, and I feel as though it is well written. So despite having a lot of people think badly of it, I think that is false, because I came from that group, and you think, oh, it's going to be... I think, in fact, a lot of the bad reputation came from Twilight, because Twilight came out and did appeal to those teenagers who are after vampire love triangles and whatnot. Sorry, I know Twilight, you can look at it and enjoy it, but I don't. I think it is badly written myself. So Vampire Diaries, I am still enjoying it. I've taken a bit of a break, but I haven't watched it in a while. And other than that, I've tried other bigger ones. There was Suits, which I'm invested in. Suits is fantastic. It's like, you get a lot of crime dramas, as I said, they're a very well-established genre that had a phase, and they were big on TV, which is why BBC made 101 versions of crime drama. With Suits, it's like it's crime drama, but it's about people who are dealing with court cases and the law. So it's like a different side of it. Instead of seeing the criminals and the cops prosecute, or no, the cops arresting them, it's the lawyers prosecuting them and everything like that. And I think that's really good. I like that. And Suits is honestly one of the best well-written things I've seen. There's never like a boring episode. It never feels as though it's filler. And the characters and just everything it feels like it's formulated to begin with, but then you realise, wait a second, then it's not. It is well written, and they put a lot of effort and thought into the stories. Um, I touched on Silk, which is essentially the BBC equivalent of Suits, and it's about barristers in the UK and Britain as opposed to over in America, where you get the lawyers, and it's a different kind. But I didn't really enjoy it as much, and I honestly think it's because it's not as well written. So it's a similar kind of area, but it's represented differently, and I don't think it's done a good job. They still have comedy elements, it's still serious, it's still crime. It's just not written in the same way, and I think it suffers because of that, so I didn't finish watching Silk. Going back to my crime drama days, Sherlock. The new rendition of Sherlock, I thought it was fantastic. It's one of the best things I've ever watched. The way they make every episode like a film, I love it. So Sherlock, I feel as though it's great. Their version of Moriarty, I think was fantastic. It's my favourite version of him. And Sherlock himself, I like how they've done his character. Because he is this socially awkward person, so that's true to the Sherlock cause. And his level of intelligence, it's not book smarts, it's street smarts and making links between things. And I feel like this representation, despite being modern day and albeit not true to the source material, I think it's one of the best in terms of how they've represented his character. And there's been the odd other thing here or there. There's a Netflix original called The Returned, which I tried and didn't like. I thought it was really bad. They didn't answer any questions. American Horror Story is one of the best in terms of the cinematography, the way it's filmed, and the dark themes are great. It is becoming mainstream, and it's one of those things a lot of people talk about, but I think it is deserving of that somewhat, and it's nice to see a stylistic TV series, and all the different series, the fact they reuse actors for different plots across different series, I think that's really cool and a nice artistic choice. Because it was a topic of conversation with a lot of people at college, I did invest into Skins and started it, dropped it, started it again, dropped it, and started it and actually saw it through to the end. And Skins, I wanted to like it, and it is good. It's just not amazing, and towards the end of it, it really does feel like they're reusing a lot of cliches and old stories and then just putting characters in those roles, forcing characters in those roles. And then a lot of things go unanswered. I mean, it's a drama about teenagers, but it's you still want it to answer things. I feel like they use that as an excuse and just say, "Oh, they're kids. They do it. It's random," and it feels badly written. I do like Skins, but I was massively disappointed towards the end. There is Person of Interest, which is another crime drama-esque type thing. Where there's this machine in America that monitors what everyone does, and it manages to predict whether or not they're going to commit crimes. It produces numbers for these two main characters, who then go and try and prevent that character from either being in a crime or perpetrating a crime. And I think it's a great concept that hasn't been done before, other than in things like Watch Dogs, which they came out kind of the same time, which is awkward. The Person of Interest is good, and that's still ongoing for me. I think maybe they need a bit more of an overarching thing. Like, it does feel formulated in the sense of, okay, a number's going to come up, we're going to investigate this person, we're going to find out what they're doing, and we're going to stop them. It feels as though they've done that a lot at this point, but they have got overarching themes, and I think that's good. There's more light-hearted things like Fresh Meat, which is about university freshers all in a house together, and it's kind of like In-Betweeners. I watched In-Betweeners. In-Betweeners was fantastic. I don't even feel the need to go into detail on that. But Fresh Meat, it feels like a more realistic representation of that. It is very extreme, but the stereotypes they've done are actually, it feels like they're good representations. You feel as though you can say, okay, I know someone like that, I know someone like that, this person's very similar to this person from college. And the stories are good too, like the characters do have backstories. It makes you care about the characters, which a lot of other things, like Skins, don't really make the effort of doing. And other than that, the only thing to mention is a bit of a dark horse, I guess. It's a series called Sense8, which is a Netflix original. It's like Sense with an 8 at the end. And it follows the lives of 8 characters who are all connected, like they have this telepathic connection. And the reason for this connection is unknown. What it's for is unknown, and the villains of it, I guess, aren't even clear until the end. But it's great simply because of how it's done. It's a Netflix original, so I was expecting them to cut corners and stuff. But it is literally 8 different characters from 8 different countries, all with completely different backgrounds, And what's great is the characters. They are all really unstereotypical. Like, there's a Korean businesswoman, which at first is stereotypical, but she has a lot of drama going on with her family and her business, and she's a kickboxer. Then you have a transgender American hacktivist, and you have a Mexican actor who's gay, but he can't accept it because it affects his career too much. It just feels as though every character has something going for them that has, like, you can't compare the characters to other characters from other things, and I think that's great. Really strong characters with a strong, unique plot, with answers that are going somewhere. I think that's great. Sensei is, of all the things I've mentioned, it's my actual recommendation, I guess, and it is coming for a season 2, so it is going to be continued, so more answers for us, basically. But yeah, I feel as though I've actually done a lot of rambling in this, because there's so much to talk about with TV series, and I feel like I've talked about more than I have with film, but that's TV series in a nutshell. I will say, apologies for the lighting levels, because normally we would record in the day, but we've been really, really busy recently, so we're recording this one. That was the weirdest thing. I just got like a huge shiver. Like, you know, you get a shiver, sometimes it just goes through you, but that one was like, that shook me up. I completely forgot what I was saying. Sorry, I've rambled so much anyway in this, but what I will say is, if you've seen any of the TV series I've talked about, please let me know what you think of them, and Sensei, I recommend it. It's a slow burner. The first 3 or 4 episodes you will watch them and you'll think, where's this going? But it does pick up, honestly, trust me when I say that. I'm not just trying to sell it, they're not paying me or anything like that. But yeah, this is me, Evans with Z111. Please rate me if you enjoyed the video, and let me know if you have ideas for future EVlogs. This is me out. Peace.